Hello, welcome to a short video that is meant to help you to navigate this class. This is Econ 311 Environmental Economics, which is a combination of environmental science and economic science. But really, what we're trying to achieve is to learn how to do cost-benefit analysis and also to develop and write public policy statements. So this class is a special class because it fulfills two additional things besides a course requirement. First, it is a green course, which means that it fulfills the requirement for you to take a green course. And second, this fulfills the writing intensive course requirement as well. In the second half, you'll be writing public policy statements based on case studies. I will have a series of lectures, particularly in the first half of the semester, to teach you economic principles that you need to understand in order to apply them to the environment. Now, during that time, I'll be giving you pop quizzes. So there'll be about 12 of them. I'll send out an email to you. So you need to watch, because when you get the email, you'll have several hours in order to go in and take the quiz. The quiz will be such that you'll have about 15 minutes to complete it, maybe less time, maybe 10 minutes. It'll be 4 questions, multiple choice, and it will be based on the readings that you were supposed to be doing that week, as well as my lectures. Each quiz will be worth 2 points, and I will count 10 of the quizzes and drop your lowest scores. So that means that it's 20% of your grade. The midterm exam will consist of approximately 40 questions, multiple choice, true, false, and some matching, and it'll be worth 30% of your grade. In the second half of the semester, there will be case studies, 6 of them. I will keep your 5 highest scores from those case studies. They're worth 4 points each for a total of 20 points. I will accept a late case study. However, you will be docked 1 point for being late. The final exam will be very much like the midterm exam, but it will also have 1 essay question. And the essay question will look very much like a case study. So it'll follow the same format, and you'll be expected to write that case study as a part of your final exam. In addition to that, there will be up to 5 extra credit points that you can earn during the semester. Some of those will appear in my lectures. So somewhere in one of my lectures, you might see a screen that comes up, and so for a few seconds it says, the following is an extra credit problem. And what you have to do is complete that by the following Sunday to get the extra credit points. So each one of those will be worth 1 extra credit point. My grading is as follows. Ball State does not allow me to give you an A+, and so a 92% or higher is an A, and then 90 to 92% is an A-. And then you can see that from there it goes to a B+, a B-, B, B-, C+. Now, I don't give C- or D+. I figure if you're doing that poorly in this class, we're not going to knit about it. Once you get below a C+, you get a C, a D, or an F. And it's as simple as that. So what I want you to do is focus on the reading, the reading assignments that I've given you, and watch my lectures and take notes from my lectures. I will put things up on the screen that you should be writing down. And when the lectures go away after a week, you're not going to have that opportunity. The final thing I want to talk to you about is a piece of your final exam. And this is going to be a project, something you're going to have to work on, and you want to get started on it fairly early. And that is, you're going to be performing a Monte Carlo simulation. Now you might ask, what is a Monte Carlo simulation, Dr. Thomas? Well, this is a technique that you're going to use in Excel, that you're going to use to do forecasting. And it was developed by the scientists during the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project was the project where they developed the atomic bomb. And they had a problem. The problem was, what if we set off this atomic bomb and it doesn't stop? What if it keeps going and consumes the entire planet? Then we all die. Well, we don't want that to happen, so we better not do it unless we're certain it won't. And so they developed a mathematical technique, which they called the Monte Carlo simulation. Monte Carlo is a famous city-state, famous for gambling, kind of like the Las Vegas of Europe. And the Monte Carlo simulation that they developed was they took every unknown in their formula and they computed a vast number of random values between the possible minimums and maximums. And then they applied those random values into these equations over and over and over and over again, thousands and thousands of times, until they'd covered every possibility. And then they graphed the outcome into a bell curve and looked at the probabilities. And based on that, they determined it wasn't going to happen. So they could set off the atomic bomb. Well, years later, professors at the Harvard Business School discovered this technique and taught it to their students in their MBA programs for doing financial forecasting. It just so happens that I have learned how to do this and have actually used it professionally as an expert witness in court, where I was able to do forecasting and in a federal case. Now, I'll tell you right now, they paid me $50,000 to do it, as well as testify. So you can make some money using this technique. It might help you get a job. Many of my students have gone on to get good jobs in consulting, and primarily they got it because I showed them the Monte Carlo simulations they'd done. So learn how to do this technique and it will help you. This will be 10% of your final exam grade. And we'll be working on it during the semester. So you'll have plenty of time to get it done. Let me talk to you about my office hours. I was a CEO in Silicon Valley for 25 years prior to completing my Ph.D. and going and coming here to become a professor. And I've been asked, why would you want to come here to Muncie, Indiana, after having lived and worked in Silicon Valley all those years? And the answer is that this is sort of my retirement. I worked 100 hours a week for 25 years, and I had to deal with employees and boards and customers and vendors and shareholders, and the stress was intense. It really had an impact on my health. Ultimately, I ended up having a heart surgery and 2 brain surgeries for tumors, and my health suffered greatly. Currently, I'm just out of a transplant surgery to put a new nerve in my chest to try to reactivate my right lung so I can breathe. So stress is a very difficult thing to live with. Being a professor is not stressful. I get to teach classes and work on research that I'm interested in. I mention this because I spend most of my time sitting here at my desk in front of my computer doing research or recording a lecture. And what kind of research do I do? Well, economic research, obviously, but you might be surprised when you hear about it. The primary thing I've been working on is 911, the emergency system. So I work with the National Emergency Number Association in Washington, D.C., and I do empirical research on the impact of 911. And the project I'm working on right now involves, how does 911 affect murders. And you might say, what? What does 911 have to do with murders? Well, it turns out that if I shoot you and you die, then it's a murder. If I shoot you and somehow you survive, then it's an aggravated assault. And so with 911 and improved medical techniques, we're saving more people. It turns out about half of the people that would have died previously are now surviving. And so the murder rate has dropped in half. Why? Because we get to them before they die. This also means we're not kinder and gentler. We're just not as good at killing people as we used to be. And so I have the empirical proof that this is the case, and I measured it using 140 different cities over a 55-year period of time. I've been able to come up with empirical proof that measures the exact life-saving benefits of 911. And I have other research with 911 that I'm doing as well. And the second area of research that I do is on business cycles, which is recessions. What causes them? How can we avoid them? And I've done a lot of work on that. I've had papers published, about half a dozen, actually about 8 papers published in refereed journals on that subject. So this is what I spend most of my time doing, and teaching a few classes. Now, I tell you this because I'm sitting here and I have office hours, and I have assigned office hours Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 4 to 5 p.m. And if I'm not going to be there for those, I'll let you know. But if you go to the website, go to the homepage, click on my image, then it'll take you into Zoom and connect you to me in my virtual office hours. I'm happy to have you come, happy to discuss issues you might be having, questions you might have. I'm not going to do that during exams, but pretty much any other time. Now, if I'm sitting here working on my research and you need some help, send me an email and I'll turn on Zoom and I'm happy to help. I like to have students come in with questions. I love to share my experience and ideas with you and help you with the problems that you're working on. So don't be shy about it. So good luck this semester. And I look forward to working with you on all these projects and helping you to learn a whole bunch of really cool new things.